to Arcade Spotlight. We're glad you can join us from the vast regions of space to follow us on this epic journey through arcade history. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at an obscure space game from the pinball company turned arcade makers that has you shooting spheroids going mad.
I think it's a really great game that didn't get the attention and the love that it deserved.
Mad Planets was released in February of 1983 by Gottlieb. It was programmed by Kan Yabumoto as a multi-directional shooter. Additional help came from Jeff Lee as artist and David D. Thiel as composer. It was made for 1 to 2 players and comes in an upright cabinet.
I do remember this game. It's been years. Was not probably one of the more memorable for me like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, but it was still a fun game to play, just to fly around, kill things, and try to rescue the little astronaut guys.
You are basically a ship that is shooting at planets.
If you can quickly kill all the little planets as they're being coming onto the screen before they get big, you can get a perfect round bonus. But once the planets come onto the screen, you'll need to kill their moons, which they'll throw at you sometimes. The Mad Planets comes in. When they've lost their moons, they turn red and get angry and come at your ship.
You've also got a bonus stage where you're catching astronauts. You gotta avoid comets. It is frantic. You're on that joystick and it's a workout. By the time the game is over, your arm is tired.
So it's got a real interesting control scheme, which is one of the things I really like about the game. You have a joystick with a trigger and a spinner. The joystick moves the ship, the spinner controls the direction of fire.
You hold the joystick button down, it does auto fire, or you can push it one at a time.
It's fun to be able to really get some momentum on the spinner on that, kind of a Tempest style of spinner, even though it's mechanically not quite the same. And then use more of a Gorf style of feel with the joystick while firing at the planets. Familiar joystick style and kind of unique using a big stock joystick like it is, and my phone making noise. And
I never encountered one on location, so the first time I actually did get to play an actual Mad Planets machine was at Starfighters in 2015, and I thought it was really cool.
I never saw or played Mad Planets in the wild. I don't remember it ever being at an arcade or anything like that. It's more than likely ZapCon, the first 1 or 2 ZapCons.
You know, we started going to ZapCon, started having arcade parties, and it was just one of those more or less common games that we just didn't see at ZapCon very often. So my wife and I went on the task of making one, so there would be one at ZapCon. Mad Planets fetches a pretty good price, especially if it's any kind of good condition, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. So we made one. We got an old TV. We did a yoke swap, so we'd have a nice clean monitor with no burn. We collected the various parts. We went repro, so this is a JROC, so hardware emulation, so it's not computer run and made. It's about as good as you can get without having the original. Got newer equipment for the joystick and the spinner and stuff like that. I ordered some repro inserts molded from Australia for the Gottlieb logo and things like that. Got some screen printed art, new metal cast control panel that was a replica. And put it all together, and one of our favorite things about it was the person who produces the reproduction board, JROC, set the high score at the first ZapCon we brought it to.
Mad Planets wasn't a great success in the arcades, although it was received positively upon release and go on to inspire a trilogy of games by Simon Nicole. It would later be looked back on as one of the lesser-known titles from Gottlieb's catalog of arcade titles, maybe due to the video game crash of 1983, undeservingly so.
There may have been other things came from 1983 that might have been more interesting because you know, games that are on location, they're built to be money, you know, revenue earning equipment. So if it's not making money right away, it's going to get kicked off the floor and scrapped or sold or traded in for $1, or you know, they had some pretty brutal trade-in policies back then.
It's a fun game to play to kill some time. It's, again, not one that I would say is an all-time great, but it is something that is enjoyable to play. I mean, I would have more fun playing this than the original Space Invaders, because at least there was more action to this one than just going side to side.
Collectors really look for Mad Planets. It's a very collectible game, but the general public, I don't think they know it exists. It's very unfortunate because it's a very fun game. A lot of inspiration from other games, but and that's why it has kind of a familiar feel to the gameplay as well, even though it in itself is pretty unique. But I wish more people, you know, would give it a chance.
I don't think it had the impact that Q*bert or, you know, some of the Gottlieb had in pinball or something like that. But it's one of those things I think you find if you start getting into classic gaming, that it's one of those hidden gems for people to uncover. It's kind of how I see it.
While Mad Planets wasn't a popular game for its time, it's still fondly remembered by those who play it as a fun title with a lot to offer the casual gamer. The crash could never bury the memories, and if you so happen to find it, why not play a quirky game that came from the same minds that brought you this peculiar action puzzler? This has been Arcade Spotlight. I'm Jacob Ross, and we'll see you soon. Want to play the games featured on the show? Come check us out. We're located at 4840 East Jasmine Street, number 102, Mesa, Arizona, 85205 near Falcon Field and the Monastery. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to support the channel by giving us a like, comment, sharing the video around, and hitting that subscribe button. It really helps us out. You can also find us on our Facebook and our personal website. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll be seeing you.
Always gotta get Q*bert.
Always gotta get a little Q*bert in there.
Test, test, test.
I'm turned on. Dead.
I'm dead.
From the pinball company turn. What happened, Dave?
I lost the ball! Whoa! Eddie is broke, the mummy is broken!
I saw that. Broke the mummy.
I broke the mummy!
Ladies and gentlemen, you broke the mummy. You broke the mummy.
I broke the mummy!
What do you have to say about that?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.